Hello and welcome, beautiful souls. Thank you for joining me here. My name is Angela. I'm with Rising in the East. Um, this is my very first tarot video, tarot pick a card, and I'd like to introduce you to the Shamanic Wheel of Life. So I'd like to offer a little bit more clarity around that. So you may have come across other pick a cards in the past. This is just a method I wanted to try to use to connect with each one of you today, those who felt called to participate in the reading. So I'd like to just give you a quick once around the wheel. Up here in the north, this is a beautiful piece of Amazonite. Now the north is associated with the element of earth. It's also can be associated with the astrological signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. But the north really represents wisdom, grace, and confidence. And if you were to associate a period of age with the north, you might consider it old age. Wisdom comes with old age. So it's not to say you need to be elderly to feel drawn to the north. It doesn't mean that you are elderly if you're drawn to the north. It just means that you associate with those particular qualities, or you might feel drawn simply because your astrological sign is an earth sign, or because your intuition led you there. So these may be some of the energies that you're living in or sharing with others around you at this time. So here in the east, we have this lovely citrine. The east is associated with the element of air. Air represents for us the different astrological signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Again, you don't have to be one of those elements. You have one of those as your main sun sign to feel drawn to the east. It can just, it could be the stone, it could be your intuition, it could be the qualities that draw you here. The qualities of those in the east tend to, it tends to represent communication and clarity, freedom, newness, new beginnings, and coincidentally the age range for those that select, for those in the east is actually birth and youth from like newborn to toddler ages. So it carries with it that innocence, that newness, that freedom, and that comes with lack of experience. So here in the south, we have this lovely tiger eye, which represents fire for us. The south, fire holds the south, absolutely. And fire signs associated with that element are going to be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Again, it doesn't have to be the astrological sign, just whatever you feel called. Now, of course, the fire represents, or those in the south and the fiery element of the south represent passion, inspiration, ignition, that new start of things. And here in the west, we have this lovely amethyst stone. And the west is associated with the element of water. And the signs that are associated with water are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And water is often associated with intuition, healing, and emotion. And this time period is actually associated with adulthood. And I apologize, back here in the south, this represents youth. So there's no rhyme or reason for that necessarily. But, it doesn't necessarily have to relate in that respect, just sharing for your awareness. And then here in the center, under this beautiful black obsidian, is the Axis Mundi. Now the Axis Mundi is where all of these meet together as one. And my intention for this particular deck was so that we could draw on these energies so that we might help to integrate whatever we're experiencing in these directions right now, north, east, south, and west, and how to integrate that into our lives. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'll just scoot these out of our way here. And I will start with the north. Now in the north, we have the council and the corn. The council may mean that you are one that is considered very wise, that people go to for advice or obviously counsel. You may be a mentor, a teacher, someone who stands in the role of a leader of some sort. Associated with that is the corn, and the corn speaks to me of abundance, perhaps an abundance of information, an abundance of wealth or prosperity. The corn, I think for me, the corn holds a certain amount of wisdom, so it's fitting for the council and the corn to be so closely related. I do believe that of course, with age comes wisdom, and with experience comes wisdom. So it would make perfect sense that with that wisdom comes the fruits of your labor. And it may be very easy for you to put things into place, to apply your education and experience in a way that's beneficial for all who are near you. So these next few cards, more animal spirit messages here. We have the rhino spirit, overcome any obstacle, and hummingbird spirit, be here now. I think that with that wisdom, obviously it allows you a certain amount of knowledge and experience. You may be able to foresee any potentials. You may be considering more of the ramifications of actions. So you may be able to have a clearer picture going in before you just dive right in. You also have that confidence of experience. And those who come to you for that experience and that wisdom. Then we have the hummingbird spirit, be here now. So the hummingbird spirit to me has a certain element of simply connectedness. So there may be a whole lot of things going on in the present moment, but you have the ability to breathe deeply and anchor yourself into the present moment. So I feel like that's a very stable place for you to be at this time. Some more animal energies. We have the beautiful dragon card. I don't know if you can see the iridescent O on this card. It's just lovely. So the dragon to me speaks to age-old wisdom, and there's certain kind of magic that's still present there. Of course, I love all things magical, so the dragon being present is just absolutely beautiful to me. But the dragon, he had to be wise in order to, find places to hide and things like that back in the day. And I'm assuming everyone believes in dragons, right? So, but the dragon is tough, it's fierce, and I believe there's quite a bit of wisdom that each one of them holds. And also resiliency. You got to have that tough exterior, right, to be able to make it through. And we have 3 of the tarot cards, which I thought would be appropriate to explain a little bit more about our folks in the north and what they might be experiencing right now. So here we have the 4 of Pentacles. And the 4 of Pentacles speaks to me of someone who knows how to organize and put things into place. You know how to get people moving, and you know how you know how to work that fine oiled machine, right? Like you know how to put things into place and move things forward, get that momentum you're looking for, even in complex circumstances. And if you don't know, you figure it out. And if you can't figure it out, you know who to ask, right? You're on that council of wise elders for a reason. So then here we have the Judgment card. And of course, judgment may represent wisdom, may represent the ability to hold others in a space of judgment or non-judgment, right? But to me, it also speaks to the ability to not just rise above difficult situations, but literally have that bird's eye view of the bigger picture and be able to draw it in and be able to see those places that might need a little bit more of your finer, keener discernment, right? And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Now, the Ace of Pentacles to me connects to the corn. And I say that because I see the Ace of Pentacles in this case as a seed. And being a wise elder who's had lots of experience farming, obviously, right? I mean, you know what you're doing by now. You have this wealth of corn. To me, it speaks to me of someone who knows what they're doing. So if given a handful of corn, the wise elder would be able to pick which ones might bear the most fruit or the most benefit. So the Ace of Pentacles speaks to new beginnings as well. Even in the end of something, there's also room for growing something new. And going into something new in that new cycle, you always have that same bit of wisdom that you carry with you from every experience. And finally, we have this beautiful manifestation card. So this is a little manifestation mantra, if you will, that may help to bring about and anchor in some of the energies of what we're seeing here from this experience, from this reading. So we have, Dear Universe, I release the need to compare myself to others. There is only one me. So maybe in a way this too is a way for us to recognize that we are where we are for a reason. We have followed this path. We have gone on this journey with intention. And there is only one you. You can share your wisdom and your knowledge and your experience with others, but truly, there's only one you. So thank you very much for reading. And if you'd like, you can go ahead and skip ahead to the Axis Mundi reading at the end. Thank you. To all of those who selected the cards in the East, let's get started. This beautiful piece of citrine. Let's put that up there. So completion and the gatherer. These are lovely. What I'm seeing with completion is that you've reached the end of a cycle and you're ready to begin anew. We have the gatherer here, which tells me that maybe you've just completed school, or perhaps you were in a trade school, or perhaps you just finished a program or a training and you're ready to step out with that newfound knowledge into the next steps and next stages. Completion, this was a hard-won process. It's not a continuing cycle, I don't feel like. It's just another step or stage in your journey. Let's move forward and see what else we have. So I think there's a lot, and before I go into these other cards, sorry, I think that there's quite a lot of new energy starting out. There's a lot of confidence coming in here. There's also this element of innocence, and I know that is associated with East in the air. However, we have the peacock spirit, which says let it shine, and sandpiper spirit, which says be playful. So having that open heart, um, open process of communication with your peers, I think that could be really beneficial to you in this new endeavor if you're taking on something new. Perhaps you have acquired like a what's the word I'm looking for? An internship, right? So you're feeling, perhaps not cocky, but confident. You know what you've learned, you know how to apply it, and you've almost become like an expert in your field of study, which is excellent. And then sandpiper spirit, be playful. So you have that ability to not take yourself so seriously, which will allow that room for error and growth. More animal energy here. We have the fish, and the fish tells me that you're always searching for something a little bit deeper. You're always looking to deepen the experience, right? So you're looking um, to really get in and learn as much as you can about something. I find that to be very beautiful, to have that continued like depth and interest for your field of study. And you just want to continue to keep going until you feel you've reached, the ultimate experience. As much as you can learn, you want to learn. Okay. And then we have these 3 additional cards of the tarot. Ooh, we have the 5 of Swords, 9 of Cups, and 3 of Wands. The 5 of Swords tells me that you're coming to an end of one thing and a beginning of another. So we're ready to start that new cycle again, going back to completion. Not to suggest that thing that you've just finished, that class you've just finished is absolutely final. But I can say that it allows that room for growth. Like I mentioned, growth and error, releasing the old and allowing for the growth and opportunity for the new. And then here, the 9 of Cups. I'm really getting the impression that you just finished your class or just graduated, or, because this really speaks to me of community. And that may not be the case, but I do get the feeling of like a graduation or a celebration of some sort. But at the same time, having created a community of like-minded individuals that you can rely on for assistance. And I believe it's that vision of newness and being able to look at your experiences with different eyes. You're able to see with a more discerning filter. I don't want to say rose-colored glasses, because I don't think that's the case. But having gained that understanding and that information, I do believe that allows you to view the world in such a way that it kind of lifted a veil or allowed you to fine-tune the filter, the lens. So then we have one more. Now this is these are manifestation cards. They're Dear Universe manifestation cards, and I drew these to maybe help anchor in some of the information that came in, and perhaps if they resonate for you, then maybe you can repeat it to yourself throughout the week or next few weeks until we meet again. So The message is, Dear Universe, may the essence of prosperity and abundance be magnetized in my aura and energy field. So this does tell me, it really tells me that you may have completed a class. Perhaps you even ended a relationship. I mean, it could very well be the end of a relationship, the beginning of a new cycle, and having gained a lot from that. It could be the start of something new in any respect. All of those circumstances would often help to create that community and also give you a new lens in which to look at life. And the fish might speak to, if that were the case, the fish might speak to always pursuing your heart's desire and what's true for you. And I think overall that would be the message for any of us. Be yourself, use your tools that you have at your disposal, and trust that the prosperity and abundance will be magnified in your aura and energy field. So that's all I have for you, folks who selected the East and the element of air. Thank you so much for checking out my reading. Please don't forget to check out the Access Mundi reading at the very end of the video here. So I hope that has the information that you need to help anchor in these messages and bring it all true for you. So if you feel so called, please do like, comment, or share the video. And I do look forward to your feedback. Again, this is my very first time doing an online video, so I look forward to that. Thank you. Hello, my lovelies who have selected the South. The South is associated with the element of fire, which brings with it passion, inspiration, and ignition. So I will share that when I first started putting the decks together for this reading, I really felt that the folks in the South were in need of some additional support. And that's a message that kept coming through for me. So I really want to stress that if you're going through a difficult time right now, please do reach out to your resources and maybe take a little extra care of yourself. If you feel like you're tired, maybe take a nap. Kind of look into what your body might need or what you might be needing socially, emotionally, physically. Just reach out. There's folks there that definitely want to help, I'm sure. So, all right, so let's dive in. All right. So what we have here is the witness and the drum. The witness tells me you may have experienced a very drastic transformation recently. And I say transformation because of the associations with the drum, and I'll explain that in just a few moments. But the witness tells me you may be going through some kind of awakening, or people are talking about spiritual awakenings that may not resonate for you, but an awakening can be an experience such as the loss of a loved one. Back in 2009, I lost my grandmother to cancer, and she was one of the closest people I've known in my entire life. And in that period of time, I went through some other experiences. I went through a divorce. I had a baby. I mean, it was a lot of things happening all at once, and it felt like for the next year or two, in a lot of ways, I numbed myself. And I was only like a witness to my life and my experiences. But when I came out of that, I felt like I woke up. So, and things had changed. My intuition deepened. And so a lot of stuff was going on around that. So just sharing my personal experience with you, perhaps it resonates, perhaps it doesn't. But I felt it was important to share that sometimes we go through transformation just because it's time for us, because we are in need of that spiritual rebirthing in a way. Okay, so then we have the drum. The drum is actually very significant for me. It's another story, story time with Angela. So just a couple of weeks ago, I was really blessed to have the experience to create my own shamanic drum. Through the shamanic process, so everything was treated with the utmost reverence and love and care, and it's that recognition that the animal that lost his life, that lost and sacrificed a part of his flesh, so that I might beat new life into it, so that I might make his heart beat alive again, and use that in my practice. Through shamanic journeying. And that ultimately, that's been a dream of mine for such a long time. So I was truly blessed to get to go through that experience. But the drum, to me, this really speaks of a deep, deep emotional change or transformation. Very, very powerful experience that you might be going through right now, and learning how to beat new life into that new experience, and kind of get comfortable with the flow and what that looks like in your everyday. So, folks, in the South, I'm going to pull in some animal energies. Whew. So we have, now is a lucky time and freedom is yours. It may not feel so lucky for some of you folks if you went through something really deep and transformational, but it also may. I mean, when we clear out the old, we make space for new. And here we have the horse spirit, which talks about freedom being yours, and really taking into stock what's important to you, and that you can actually claim this. It's really yours. You can take it whenever you like. Oh, excuse me. So, the information that I'm getting is, you may be wanting to start something new. If you had a great loss, you're wanting to fill that space with something, perhaps something of your own creation. And maybe it's a transition. Maybe you finished college and you're ready to start a new job, or maybe you finished writing your book and you're ready to create more time for yourself here. And maybe that just looks like, I'm sorry, that's my puppy. He's sick. And maybe what that looks like is making a list of things that are important to you, the things that you want more of, and perhaps looking at the things you want less of, so you can focus on the things that you want more of and prioritize those. The next card we have here is the octopus. This does tell me that you are somebody that has a lot of irons in the fire a lot of the time. So sorry about him. He's really struggling with, he's got congestive heart failure, so he's coughing. I apologize. So we have a lot of things going on all at once, and you have this ability to do that, but it also makes it feel like you don't have enough time for the things that are really important to you. And I think that that's what's taking up this headspace up here. So maybe the invitation might be to take the time to make those lists out. What's important to you? What more, what less do I need in my life? And how can I bring more of what I want in and let go of what I want less of? So then we have a few of the tarot cards. I think perhaps for a time you may have felt like the wheel was stuck, or it was moving slowly. Things couldn't move in the right direction fast enough. And perhaps this change suddenly spun that wheel right into action, right? So you now have the ability to follow your dreams, and it's flipped you upside down. You're not quite sure how to manage that. So something to look at here too is the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups speaks to me of a need to fill your own cup. You have so much to give and to share with a full, loving heart, but you don't have to prove it to anyone. You can do and show up where you need to show up. Maybe you're a single mom and you're working super hard to make sure that your kids get to doctor's appointments and soccer practice and things like that. And maybe it's time to start, if you're able, delegating or asking for help. That might allow you a little bit of time here to fill your own cup. You can't give from an empty cup. But this really, in the position that it's in, does speak to me of self-care, a need to nurture and love yourself as only you can. Then we have the Fool, which it does speak of something new. So maybe one of the things that you find, if you decide to fill out the more or less list, what you want more of and what you want less of, maybe you find that you want to take a painting class or learn about photography or explore what I don't know, like take yourself on a weekend adventure. I'm not sure. So but it is this beautiful sense of newness, that it's an invitation to explore what's going to fill your cup, what's going to make you feel fulfilled, and how can you do that. And then we have finally the Dear Universe card. Dear Universe, allow my soul to connect with nature and remember my true essence. So be it, so it is. So maybe it is a trip up north or to the beach, or just enjoying literally nature and getting in touch with you at your core, who you really are, what you really want. What do you want to manifest into your life? How do you want to enrich and enliven your soul again? So that's all I have for you now, those lovelies in the South. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. And if you do feel called, please leave a comment about your experience. This is my first reading, so I look forward to the feedback. I hope this resonated for you. And I do invite you to follow up with the Access Mundi reading at the very end. So do click on the link. If we can get some timestamps, I do click on the link there. Thank you. Hello, beautiful souls who selected the West. So let's just dive right in, shall we? Lots right here. So we have the Crow and Ghost Dance. The Crow has been associated, in my experience, in my reading and studies, with being a messenger from those in the afterlife, right? So our ancestors who passed on, perhaps a crow's been associated with delivering messages to the other side for us. So a lot of different belief systems hold the crow to be a magical creature in that respect. And then we have the Ghost Dance. This speaks to me of ancestors. So for those of you who selected the West and maybe associated with any of the water elements, or sorry, any of the water signs, this may resonate for you. If it doesn't, you're welcome to try again and see if there's another deck that does resonate with you a little bit more. But this to me speaks of loved ones trying to offer their love and guidance from the other side. I do believe this is more loving messages, not necessarily for those who resonate with having specific mediumship ability. I do I do resonate with mediumship ability. So this is appropriate to me because I'm also a water sign. So if I would have selected this, this may be appropriate for me. And I often feel that I get messages from those who have passed on for me to deliver to others, or for me to receive for myself. And that can be as simple as a feather or a penny or something that you associate with the person who passed. Another example might be my grandmother passed away, like I said, in another reading in 2009, and she absolutely loved hummingbirds. And a lot of, music boxes and pieces of artwork around the house were hummingbirds. But when I would see one, I would feel that my grandmother was near me. I could feel her presence. So if I felt or saw a hummingbird, or if they started acting kind of silly, or tried to get my attention, tried to flutter up in my face, I would take that as a sign that it was a message from my grandmother. I also have this lovely, upside down to you probably, hummingbird tattoo on my forearm to represent my grandmother. So she's always with me, and I'm always thinking about her. But those that perhaps do resonate with mediumship may be feeling a little bit more of an influx of communications from those who have passed on. Those who haven't ever had that experience before, you might start to see more signs, symbols, and messages from your loved ones. So do keep an eye out for that. And if you should see it, don't be afraid. It's just them letting you know that they're with you always, and that you can rely on them for strength, love, and support whenever you need it. So, I get the impression that maybe some of you folks are doubting your ability. And if that's the case, that's perfectly natural. And if you're resistant to it and don't feel it holds a lot of value, or perhaps even, what's the word I'm looking for? Authenticity, I suppose, like truth. Like, how accurate is this kind of situation? Truth transcends illusion. You're not making it up. It's not your imagination. It's, it's actually a sign from your loved one trying to communicate with you to tell you, 6 times today you came across, I don't know, nickels on the ground, all face up, and your Uncle Bob always loved nickels and would always pick them up, and they were always heads up, whatever the story might be. It's the truth that transcends that illusion. We tell ourselves stories because it's a lot easier to doubt, whatever information may be coming in. And I think that there's a lot of value in validating your intuition. There's for me, and it's served me very well. And I find that the more I lean into that truth and that experience and that trust, then more I feel guided and more open I am to that infinite possibility of what more could happen. Excuse me. So today is the day that I'm taking that first step into into the unknown, and volunteering to put myself out there and share my gift with the world. And this is what it looks like today. So I'm being open to the infinite possibility. And I think when we do that, we invite spirit into our lives, and we allow that to continue to happen for us, and let them know we're here, we're waiting, we want to feel loved and supported. So they'll continue to offer to you. It's my belief, anyhow. Ooh, beautiful. More messages. I love these cards. I wish you could see. I'm not sure if you can, the iridescent circular metallic O there. It's really neat. We have the cosmic egg. The cosmic egg speaks to me of you having a certain kind of awareness that your gifts that you're experiencing now, you've always had. Perhaps you had these experiences when you were younger and they frightened you or confused you and you didn't have anyone to talk to about it. And so you knew you had it within you all along. But I do believe that that this is a good thing. Uh-oh. So sorry. He's having a hard time, my poor little guy. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay. All right. So then we have the tarot. So my puppy is sick. I don't know if it was this video, this portion of the video, or the last one. My little Chihuahua is very sick. He has congestive heart failure and takes a lot of medicine. So we're just trying to help him live his best life. And sometimes he has a rough time at night. So I apologize if you hear that in the background. He's struggling to cough and get that stuff up. So we have here the moon. The moon speaks to me of introspection. So usually when I see the moon, I mean, it can have any meaning, the standard meaning, or it can have a specific meaning. I feel that for you, being someone who's so in tune with your emotion, that you may be drawn more to the moon and the moon cycles. You may follow along with the full and new moon rituals that some people practice, or you may feel a particular kind of sensitivity around the new moon or the full moon. But I think you may become more aware of your emotions during this time. Also, the moon tells me that you are experiencing a lot of deeper introspection. So you may be able to have a lot of benefit from taking a guided journey or meditation and then journaling about it. You might find a lot of deep inner or perhaps like hidden memories, right? So like you remember something from when you were 6 or an experience that you had after you come out of a meditation. But it may uncover quite a lot for you and add and shed some light on those darker areas. When you do emerge from that space, I feel that the deeper you go, the deeper understanding you have about yourself and your abilities, the more confidence you'll gain. Also, I know that in that process, it's really good to have, to be able to build confidence and build community. So perhaps you're participating in some workshops with some folks, but you're finding those beautiful connections in your life, people that fill your cup, that don't take from you. It's an equal exchange. You benefit from one another. So I think you may find that in those circles, you'll be filling that emotional cup and maybe even getting some answers to things you were a little unsure of previously. And then here, the Daughter of Swords. This tells me that you'll have more bursts of intuition coming in. And the more you practice, the more open you are to possibility, to manifesting, to creating a life that you want for yourself, a life of, perhaps it's authenticity, perhaps it's prosperity, perhaps it's drawing the love of your life into your life by loving yourself first. It can be any of these things, but I feel that these little bits of intuition are going to continue to come in with a great measure of accuracy that'll help to build your confidence so that you can stand in your power and know that this is a gift. Every one of us has a special and unique gift, whether it's playing the piano or, sharing information that's channeled through spirit, or our ancestors, or, Uncle Bob, whatever the case may be. So just be open to the infinite possibility of what could happen. What if you were right? Most of the time we're telling ourselves how wrong we are. What if you're right? So we have one last card here. This is our manifestation card. So this came from the Sarah Prout Manifestation Academy. I love these cards. I think they're fantastic. They are Dear Universe cards, and they're messages that we can tune into and request of Spirit. And I felt it was appropriate to pull for all of these readings that I did today. So this one reads, Dear Universe, may I remember my cosmic power to attract limitless and soulful prosperity. And I find that to be, I don't know if that's right side up or backwards or what, but hopefully you can read that. I'll read it again. Dear Universe, may I remember my cosmic power to attract limitless and soulful prosperity. And I do think it's really appropriate, and I find it very interesting. Cosmic and cosmic came up together in the same reading. You cannot make this stuff up. So if you feel this resonates for you and you feel so called, please do leave a comment. Please like, share the video if you're feeling it. And also do check out the Axis Mundi reading. It's coming up next. Thank you so much for taking the time to let me share that with you all today. Okay, beautiful souls. Here we are at the Axis Mundi. This is where it all meets together within us. Beautiful. Thank you for joining me in this. Hopefully Spirit will have the messages we need to help integrate what we need to integrate and bring into our lives the best energies that we can right now. So here we go. Oh, beautiful. So we have Upper World and Luminous Warrior. Upper World is the world of the heavens, the world above. And then Luminous Warrior is all of us, really, integrating and allowing to shed the skin that doesn't serve us anymore, the things that no longer apply. Upper World is where we connect with Spirit and our ancestors. That's where Father Sky and our loved ones reside with the stars. Whew. So this speaks to me of, perhaps a lot of us are feeling a lot of connection, right? Connection to our ancestral roots. When things get difficult, we tend to think back on how it may have been for our grandmother or our grandfather. Maybe we don't think about that at all. Maybe we're just thinking about how far we've come and our experience to this point, but how we might have been guided on a specific path and feel we may have been guided by, a guardian angel or a spirit guide or our higher self. And I think for me that's where our guides reside, is in the upper world. The Luminous Warrior is, to me, like in this state of transition, always trying to stay true to his path. I mean, sometimes it's really rough. Sometimes transformation is really challenging and painful, but it's a part of the path in order to make us the best versions of ourselves. Let's see what spirit animals are coming up. Ooh. Oh, a little cheating there, guys. No cheating. All right. So we have the wasp spirit and chameleon spirit. Sometimes life stings, act as if. Whew. You know what? Let's do this. Sometimes life stings. Sometimes it's hard when we go through those transformations. Sometimes making it through difficult experiences in life, that sucks. I mean, it just sucks. But the truth is, it sucks for a time, right? And we build that resiliency and we build that courage to do it again because we can't give up. We have to keep trying, especially if it's our heart's desire. But sometimes it's hard. And sometimes being brave and doing the hard thing, it's tough. But when it's important, it's worth it. And every time you get back out there, every time you put yourself on the mat ready to go the next round, you gain a little bit more experience. You gain a little bit more clarity. And you can plan your moves accordingly. And then we have the chameleon spirit. Act as if. To me, it's as though this message is coming from spirit. Act as if what it is that you want is already present. Act as if you already have it. Act as if you already are in a place where you embody prosperity, kindness, you embody financial growth, you embody success, you embody charisma. I mean, I'm not really sure what you're wanting to embody and manifest into your life, but I mean, act as if that's the case already. Act as if you are the most confident. And I do think that's where fake it till you make it comes from. But don't just fake it. Believe it. Believe it. All right, so let's take a look here because we got a little cheater view. This next card is a zebra. And when I see this, I'm getting the impression of the belief that we are not that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? So we're not this physical body that we're in, but some days we are, aren't we? I mean, sometimes the zebra is white with black stripes or black with white stripes. And does it really matter? Because we are both of these things, learning how to integrate them into this world, into this life that we're living now. And I think the best way to do that, what I'm feeling here, is to trust that intuition, trust that authenticity and that integrity, that inner knowing, which if you're following what feels right for you deep in your gut, you know what that is and what that feels like and what that looks like in your everyday. So just the best way to integrate, it sounds like, from what I'm seeing, is know that it sucks. It's not always going to suck, but know that we're here on this planet. Right? We're all here on this planet, living the life, doing the thing. We're growing, we're changing, we're evolving. And even with that pain comes a really great story. And it also comes with that experience of learning so that all the wonderful things can be that much better. We also have connection to the spirit world. We have connection to our ancestors and our loved ones. They want us to know that they're here, that they love us, that they want to support us, and we want us to have our heart's desire. They want us to act as if, so that we can have the beautiful things in our life and in our world. All right, last few cards here, guys. We have the Ace of Swords, Two of Swords. I think that's Nine of Wands, and the Sun. So in this next few weeks that you're viewing this, you may be feeling like you need to make yourself a priority. You need to cut off and sever ties, cords, and attachments with those that don't serve. And this is really just another example of cutting those cords and those ties, those things that are keeping us from our heart's desire, the things that are keeping us from following our dreams. Because even though it's hard, when we do take those first steps, it's a challenge, absolutely. But the ultimate goal, the ultimate outcome is joy. And as long as you use joy as your compass, you will always find your way home. So that being said, I have these 3 beautiful manifestation messages for us today, and I'll go ahead and read them because I think they're going to come up backwards, so my apologies. All right. Dear universe, may I receive deep and profound healing of any pain that is within my body. Whew. especially if we have life stinging for us, right? Dear universe, reveal to me a new world full of soulful and exciting opportunities. Growth and change is hard, but it's worth it. Fill my immediate future with joy, love, peace, and harmony. And I will end with that wish for you, my friends. Thank you so much for taking the time to view this reading. I hope it resonated for you. I hope it brought everything together, brought everything home. Please feel free to like, comment, share, and stay tuned for future posts. Thank you so much. Bye now.